Greetings, interwebs. 'Tis I, Sebastian Machoni, and this is F3G2. I don't know why I even bothered talking at this part. The music's usually really loud right now, so I'm just gonna.
I don't get many ideas.
Comic reviews. First up, we got Supergirl. Most of this, it's
lost you.
yeah, it's pretty generic, and I don't know, just some of what they've done, like they've given us Comet, who we've sort of seen in the New 52 before, and they've given us Maxima, but they've given us versions that are so barely recognizable that I don't. It's worse. If you're not going to give us our characters, why give them to those so barely recognizable? So it's okay, but the parts I did like were the Superboy parts. Because they just I just read an interview about Superboy returning to the Titans, and they don't want to say which Superboy it is, why he's, surrounded by, he comes in his blood and violent way, and I'm like, but the last arc of Superboy, the one that Aaron Kutter wrote, fixed all the New 52 Superboy problems, and there were a lot of New 52 Superboy problems, but they fixed it and made him likable. He's still likable so far in this, and I wonder why they keep needing to mess with that. But this book, the Supergirl parts are actually just meh, but the Superboy parts have been really good. I would actually like, who's the writing team on this? Who does all the writings? Kay Perkins and Mike Johnson. Okay, I'd read them on Superboy. I don't know if I'm thrilled with what's going on in here, but I'd read them on Superboy. I'd read them on Titans because they do a decent job with Superboy. So, there's that. All new X-Men, where the X-Men from the past in the Marvel 616 have met Miles Morales, which is good because when this whole Secret Wars thing is over and there's a new Marvel, I guess it's good they already know each other because apparently they'll all be hanging out. It's great. This I don't know what to tell you. They've got Mohamed Asrar on art. It's gorgeous, very Imminent-esque. And it has been gorgeous. It's always been gorgeous. And it's Bendis, I keep telling you. Bendis on X-Men is a good thing. Bendis on Miles Morales, we already knew is a good thing. Bendis on X-Men and Miles Morales, good plus good equals good. We'll just up it to great.
There you go.
Superior Iron Man continues to surprise me. This is issue number 4. Superior Iron Man is a complete and total douche.
Inverted Tony.
But this story's been really good. I like Teen Abomination. I like not liking Iron Man. I like the fact that I like everybody in this book except the main character, but I know that I'm supposed to not like him. It's not just like they're doing a bad job. They're doing a great job at making me not like him. Like when you see a movie and you just see the actor as a bad guy and you go, oh my god, I hated him so much in that. And not like he was a lousy actor, hated him, but like you were supposed to hate him and he made you hate him. They're doing a great job there. Art-wise, pretty damn solid. Kind of reminds me of, it's Yul Sinar with two different inkers going on, but he's doing a style. His Tony sort of reminds me of, what the hell's his name? Why do I always blank on names when I go to do anything like this?
First for character.
He drew The Boys.
Yeah, no, I'm blanking too.
He drew the guy with that talking meat gun of death. It's a great book.
Sounds great.
But anyway, whatevs. So
I'm checking.
Iron Man versus Daredevil. Iron Man absolutely outdouches Daredevil in ways you would never have suspected. But it's really, really cool. I'm digging this. Didn't like much that came out of Axis. Digging that. Batman Eternal. Bluebird flies on her own. This is Batman Eternal number 42. 42. Hey, it's my age. Art was really solid. We get Cassie. We get Bluebird. We get
Derek
Red
Robertson.
Robin. Yeah, Derek Robinson. I knew that. I was thinking some kind of. Derek Robinson is who that reminded me of. Batman Eternal 42, still solid, great. Everybody read that. While it's caught up to current continuity in Batman, it clearly hasn't caught up to current continuity in Batman and Robin, because superpowered Damian is awesome. I love Damian. I love superpowered Damian. I love that Damian's back. I love Tomasi and Gleason on Batman and Robin. I love this. Also, tender moment. You don't expect a lot of tender moments from with Damian, but you get some, and it was really, really good. Cameo by Aquaman. This was just great. This was just everything I needed after, because some of the Hunt for Robin stuff was kind of what's going on, but all in all, the payoff was worth it. And while you get tender moments, don't get me wrong, they haven't made him into a little sweetie. Death hasn't made him come back fully understanding how precious life is, and he's a sweet little cherub. No, he's still Damian, but Damian has his moments. He's Damian that's growing organically, not that kind of growing where they tell you it's organic and they say, well, it's organic and it all comes out of the plot line. It's all plot driven. And we've changed everything to make it really down to the core, and they miss everything. No, this is actually what they're trying to do. All New X Factor was the greatest horrible issue in the universe. Because it's the last one. But Peter David says this gives me hope. Meanwhile, in case you haven't heard, this is the last issue of X Factor. At least for now. I'm hoping that we will return at some point, especially after people get a load of the end of this story. End of this story, I won't spoil it for you. There are major machinations going on. It also ties in, connects this to Peter David's work over on his other creation, Spider-Man 2099, which means these could still happen. Some of this stuff could kind of carry over there, and it would make sense. It's really, it's just, there's some great Warlock moments, and that's one of the tricks is, I love Warlock and I love Cypher. Most people don't love either of them, and most people, it's because they're really hard to do right in a book. Peter David, and the art is important, and this guy draws a great Warlock, a very different Warlock than we've seen, a very more robotic looking Warlock instead of that mess of whatever. But I would put his Warlock second to we'll have to go third, because Sienkiewicz created Warlock. Sienkiewicz Warlock is definitive. I always liked Arthur Adams' Warlock because he just had a lot of fun with all those, the eyes, the shapes, he likes to get in there and do details. So this guy's a close third. I'm going to miss this book. I'm going to miss this so much. This was so good. Read this. Buy the trades. Read that. Amazing Spider-Man number 13. Continuing the Spider-Verse. Shit gets real. I also read it in the wrong order. Apparently you should read Scarlet Spiders before this. Somebody dies in here. I found out while the other two were going, he died. Oh,
Oops.
I didn't quite spoil it, but I did let you know that it's not Black Widow from Ultimates, because there's two guys and her. So when I said he died, it's one of the two guys. Possibly two of the two guys, if you count this. I don't know if the other one died in this. That would break my heart on so many levels, because it was a character that they've been using and doing great stuff with. And if Dan Slott just came in, it's one thing that he wants to go through and rape everybody's childhood. Ooh, which characters did everybody think are cool? Because I'm going to kill them. But, because I'm diabolical. It's great. You write good stories, so I'll forgive you for the fact that you keep having these unnecessary shock moments. You don't need the shock and awe. You've got the awe. You don't have to shock anymore. Or at least not so freaking often, or it stops being shocking. It starts becoming more shucks and awe than shock and awe. But this was really good. Some great Doc Ock Superior Spider-Man moments. Because I still always have a soft spot for Superior Spidey. This little heavy-handed, because they've got the whatever, but the character that dies, they start out like, I won't read the name, but His name is Blank, and he's learned that that if you never give up, you will always win. He's been beaten within an inch of his life. He's been exhausted and heartstruck and heartsick, but he's never been actually beaten. Not really. So they right away set you up with the fact that this guy's going down. Even there is a heartbreaking moment where, as the final sacrifice is made, apparently the last thought of the character is, at the last second, with his last thoughts, he thinks, there's probably a way I can make it out of this one too. And then he doesn't. And that was really well done. It was just a little right in there. More. They got away. More spiders.
Please tell me that was your copy you destroyed.
Spider-Verse team up featuring Spider-Girl reunion. They blank out who it is, and then right on the first page it says Bug featuring Spider-Girl, the daughter of Spider-Man, and Uncle Ben Spider-Man. So they hit it for all of the credits. Surprise!
Yay, Marvel.
The top story was pretty good. The Spider-Verse, the Spider-Girl story was great, mostly because it's the classic Spider-Girl team. They went out and they got Tom DeFalco and Ron Friends to do the story and the pencils. Sal Buscema to do the finishes. So it was. I was so happy. So happy! Ooh, Justice League 38. Batman gets a virus and gets bat powers. Because apparently Lex Luthor's Amazovirus is the wild card virus. It kills most people and it gives some people powers. And the powers you get are directly affected by your subconscious. It's wild cards.
Why are you still singing?
Because I like to.
Stop.
It's wild cards, but everybody gets an Ace/Black Queen. Because you get the power, but it kills you anyway. Yeah. It's like wild cards in Strike Force Morituri in the DCU. But even bleeding weirdly out of his eyes, Batman is awesome. Lex confesses to a whole bunch of shit, but seems genuinely remorseful. Explains why he created the Amazovirus. Sort of tries to justify it a little more than would actually be necessary. But great Supes and Lex moments. Great Bat moments all around. Estoy bien. Teen Titans is treme.
Better than what it was.
Oh yeah, I like the art. The story. There's a whole lot of things that should just be catching, especially for a Titans fan like me. It should, but it isn't. Somehow it's like I see what you're trying to do, and you missed.
Isn't that Power Girl?
That's the new Power Girl. I like her. Keep trying, Pfeiffer. You'll get it. God damn it.
You were just on a destroy books tear.
Maybe it's a sign that I should really drop some titles.
Continue.
Wolverines 2 and 3, because last week I forgot to review number 2. Her name's Phantom Al. That's Culpepper. He's a talking mentally telepathic fox that she's linked with.
Okay.
This story has almost nothing to do with anything else that happened. This finishes up the Dakin part. Dakin's got his arm and an eye removed, and his healing factor is gone. He's not thrilled, but he's unstable. Mystique does a half intimidation, half bargaining session with the Wrecking Crew, and this chick's kind of cool. Her power, what she does. Collectors will buy superhero memorabilia. They pay her, the brokers who sell these things, pay her to go get it. She's just like a thief, but she refuses to steal. She won't steal weapons, including, she won't even steal one of the Goblin Gliders. She won't steal anything that can be used as a weapon. The main focus, most of the issue is her trying to steal one of the Punisher's shirts. And it turns out, much to no one's surprise, except apparently Phantomelle and Culpepper, the talking telepathic fox, surprising the Punisher by waking him up, yelling "bang" is not a good plan. Just putting that out there. Guardians of the Galaxy, the symbiotes, apparently only the ones we've met are dicks. On the symbiote planet, they're like enlightened beings of sweetness. Because remember, they're not called parasites, they are called symbiotes. So they kind of fix all the problems with the Venom suit. Turns out, the downside to their symbiotic relationship is they do, in fact, take on the hang-ups and neuroses and mental dispositions of the people, of the sentient creatures they bond with. So Peter naturally made it all kind of guilty and angsty, and then it went on Eddie Brock, who filled it with hate and whatever, and then it went on Matt Grogan, who was a lunatic. So I had to kind of reset it, because it's learned to admire Flash, but it's still like,
broken,
sociopathic. So they kind of counseled it, and now he's like Das Ubervenom. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy number 23.
It is really good.
Legendary Star-Lord number 8 was okay. It's good. It wasn't great. We've got Kitty in space, and it kind of sets up the hell is it, Black Vortex crossover that's coming up. But it was good, not great. Some of the it had some great moments, but it didn't quite flow like I wanted to. Galaxy Quest number 1 from IDW, bringing up years later from the series. It was good. Honestly, best part in the entire book, part that makes me happy beyond belief, is they get interstellar phone calls from Adnar, and his word balloons, not only does it have the phonetics spelled out for his little laughing, but certain words they just add in like all the vowels, so that he still talks like he used to in the movie where he gets caught up in I'm going to help you, so that's in there, and that made me very happy. All in all, good. If you liked the movie, check it out. If you didn't like the movie, check it out anyway, and then go rent the movie or buy it for like $4 on Blu-ray. Batman, Superman is dealing with his crazy. Most of this was meh, but the end really won me over, because they discover the bullets they can't find. Somebody's killing people just for the sole purpose of messing with Superman. It turns out the bullets they're using aren't bullets. It's citizens from the missing bottled city of Kandor. They're tiny, and they're like, I don't know if they're brain controlled or like comic book brain controlled or real world terrorist cell mind brainwashed, that they're just flying through people like little bullets.
Oh, that's horrible.
It is
awesome at the same time.
It's especially horrible because Batman is wearing a not only does he have a bulletproof vest, but it's kryptonite lined in case he has any problems with Superman. So the thing is, and there's like a cloud of green, and Superman's like, "What the?" He goes, "Sorry, I have to take a little dead Kandor," and gets removed from his chest. So it's Wonder Woman number 38 is good. Still a hell of a change from what was happening. I mean, it's fine in and of itself. I know that this is one of those, it's a weird, touchy subject, because, and by touchy I just mean Wonder Woman fans all know exactly who Wonder Woman is, but none of them, they all fall into like 6 different camps. So Wonder Woman is a lot like Christianity.
Oh, Lord.
Wonder Woman fans all fall into, same book, same character, same ideals, but they all pick different aspects. So if this isn't the version you like, you're not happy. And I get that. And I even get, the artwork is beautiful, but I get how, some of the people who see Wonder Woman as more powerful, stately figure, then eye candy would be upset by that. So it's either your cup of tea or it isn't. What really is, we get down to Troy finally, but it's not. Again, it's, oh, you really wanted her, you really wanted her, you really wanted her. Here she is, all different.
Yay.
Thanks. It's a lot like a lot of these characters being reintroduced into New 52. Like when I was a kid and I'd want to go, like, oh, let's go to Burger King and get burgers, and my mom would say, no, I've got chopped meat instead, and she'd make like an almost rounded burger that she'd put on 2 pieces of Wonder Bread and melt like Velveeta on it and say, here, it's the same thing.
No, that's a hamburger sandwich.
Yeah, it's not the same thing. And that's, we got the hamburger sandwich, Donna Troy. Captain America and the Mighty Avengers, yay, they're normal again.
Thank God.
So Sam's not a douche, and he's very upset about having been so. Luke Cage has an agenda, and the rest of the Avengers are playing nice. Also, Monica Rambeau steps up and proves why, she's been an Avengers team leader so many times, and here's why. Just she's good at it.
Just been a team leader, period, so many times.
Ivar, Time Walker, #1. So good. It's like, well, it should seem cliche in the dork world that he's a guy who travels through time and space, takes on a female companion to go with him. But it's not, because he's like the opposite of, and like all that, all the sci-fi trappings that time travel, like, you can't meet yourself, and you can't. And he keeps telling her, he's like, you've watched too much TV. It's fine. We're not going to step on a butterfly and erase ourselves. He bumps into himself on the way out of a restaurant, and then he's like, hey, looking good. And she's like, oh my God, you can't talk to yourself. He's like, relax, chill. But it's it's Van Lente, Clayton Henry, Brian Reber. So good. Read that. You'll thank me. Loki is stuck, unable to tell a lie. Thor asks him, what's going on with you? And he has no choice but to tell him, I'm not the little me that you liked. I killed him. And now I'm trying to repent for, I didn't realize what that, but Thor's like, you killed and Thor remembers a time where little Loki told him, if I ever start to go bad, promise me you'll kill me. And Thor said, I can't. And Thor almost kills this Loki for killing the little Loki. And then says to him, I still can't. Here's my mercy. I'm bringing you to, Asgard, and you're going to just get arrested and be locked away as a child killer. But I have nothing to do with you. And it's powerful because Loki is genuinely trying to make up for it. And it's also, he killed himself, but he's still here. So clearly it's not really as murderous as one would think. But also, Thor hasn't been reading these front pages that comics tend to come with. There isn't one in this issue. I guess that's how Thor missed it. Because otherwise Thor would know this is mid-grade Loki. There was sweet Loki, mid-grade repentant Loki, and then evil Loki. And Thor just assumes that this is like, full-on evil Loki persona. Taint. Magneto, #14. So good. Magneto does something we'd never expect. It's very...
Help a human?
A lot of stuff happens, but it's very inwardly, it's very retroflective Magneto. So it's like the Magneto memoirs. Really, really good. Read Magneto. New 52 Futures End #38 is okay. Rocket Raccoon is good, really good. We've got a spin on, okay, we know that, Groot dies, Groot breaks, Groot becomes a baby.
Comes back. Regrows.
Yeah. Groot dances. Stop it, you. There's like a million of them over here, and they're all dancing. But in this, Groot is not broken down. He's bitten by something, and its venom is tearing through him. And if you break a piece off, you can't plant it. The piece now the venom acts quicker, and it just kind of turns to dust. So Groot's actually dying, and Rocket's got to find a way. Well, there is a way, but it's a very dangerous way, and Rocket's going on it to save his buddy. And you get some tender moments, you get some silly moments, and you get some typical Rocket moments. So just read that. The Valiant #2. Really, really good. It's like everybody teaming up over this guy. All right. Well, we know the Eternal Warrior's job is to protect the Geomancer. She's the new Geomancer. This guy is just this entity that basically shows up every time there's a Geomancer and kills them. Usually in front of him, just to say, "Haha."
Oh, that's him.
And in this case, he's pulling out all the stops. He's not going to lose this one. So he's brought in Ninjak. He's working with some other people. They've even called in, they called in Bloodshot. So it's beautiful, and it smells funny. I don't know what the stock is for this, but
Stop getting high on the comics.
I like sniffing it. Magnus Robot Fighter #10 involves Legia's daddy issues. Possibly something bad for our hero, and but I've been really, it's Valente again. I love him, and I've been liking this stuff, so check that out. Phantom #1 surprised me. I expected to read it, go meh, and say the Phantom is a book, and just put it down. Phantom #1 was really, really good. It picks up where the Flash Gordon series that I've liked has ended, and it's part of that continuity. And it's really, really good. We've got a new Phantom. Yes, Comic World. You can feel free to rant, rave, or praise the fact that they've done we replaced the original with a man of a different race. We've got a Black Phantom. Suck it. It was really good. Also, he's not the Phantom. Phantom died, and he said he died in the invasion where they were stopping Ming from taking over the Earth. But he had said that there was someone out there who was a perfect candidate. There is someone who can become the new Phantom. This guy says, "I'm going to find that guy for him, but in the meantime, someone has to be." So he's like a fill-in Phantom. He doesn't count himself as Phantom 23. He's more like Phantom 22.5. So he's like a holding peg, and it's really, really good, and I really liked it.
Did that do anything from the Ghost That Walks that they did?
Yeah, oddly, it's almost exactly the origin I have for my Freedom's Man guy, who is one for every generation in the comics that I write. And there are two families that share it back and forth, because Freedom's Man started with the Revolutionary War, but during the Civil War, Freedom's Man gets shot and dies while helping some slaves escape, and one of those guys, one of the escaped slaves, takes up the mantle because there needs to be a Freedom's Man. And this guy, while it had been within this family, this guy's son is like 5, so he's not ready to be a Freedom's Man. So now the two families go back and forth, and I'm like, Phantom just stole my origin. Suck it, Phantom. Turok #11. Good, not as good as I've really liked this series. For whatever reason, right now, while they're in England, Turok has become Robin Hood, and that kind of made me go, I suppose that could be really clever, but it just seemed too like I could see it trying to be clever, and it just didn't work for me as well. Flash Gordon #8, so good. This is the Jeff Parker, Evan Shaner Flash Gordon that I've loved. Hands down, my favorite thing Dynamite has done. Love this book. Wraps up the story, which makes me sad for 2 reasons. One, that I think this one has come to an end now, because 2, this Flash Gordon that has him, look, he's in the same exact outfit. I think this new series picks up where this left off. Different writer, different artist, whole different feel. Doesn't give me the warm fuzzies that this gave me. Made me sad. Red Sonja #14, Gail Simone and Walter Giovanni. So good. She's cursed to forever seek revenge to the point of, like, she's not quite the compassionate soul that she wants to. Well, not that she wants to be a compassionate soul, but she's one of those like look into the vortex, into the abyss too long, and you become part of the abyss. Yeah. Well, she's becoming that which she's so angry against, and that's part of the curse that's on her. Really, really good story. I really like this cover too. She's powerful, but not like she's more just like, and she has that tired look that works for this story, and just like and it was great. It was great. And finally, more Cullen Bunn, Army of Darkness number 2. This is Ash in space. The spirits have taken over the metal hand. It's grown a new body that is now basically a metal version of
Evil Ash.
Yeah, the evil Ash. With
Yeah.
complete. So he's like, I'm back, baby. But he's metal, so that makes him a little harder to fight, especially in space. But it's Army of Darkness, it's Ash, and it's Cullen Bunn. So it's like 3 great tastes that go great together. It's even better than Reese's. And that's it. Adieu, Interland.